Getting the episode up. Gonna put my toothpick in my mouth and become a completely different person.
That's right. I wonder who my alias name would be.
Oh.
It's like androgynous name and city.
Yeah.
I'll be Pat Boise.
What a choice. What a choice.
That's not very good.
I don't know. I haven't got much better. I'm like, what is it? Jane Chicago. There you go.
Yeah, that's good. Janet Cincinnati. I guess it should be Jan because I said androgynous name.
The Australian cities don't work as well. I'm like, what is it like? Max Sydney.
That's pretty good. That's a media mogul.
You vote for Max Sydney, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Bit of confidence. Bit of confidence.
You're listening to The Great and Secret Knowledge. I'm Jeff, and with me, once again, Jessie.
Hello.
How
doing something
are ya?
different.
That's
I'm
right.
good.
We're doing a little bite-sized thing compared to a 2-hour movie.
That was a long record.
Or an hour's Doctor Who. Yeah, this is 20-odd minutes. 22 plus credits, probably.
And it's mid-season. No context.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of a single-person episode as well.
Yeah, there's just a few little bits and pieces at the beginning and the end, mostly. Oh, I guess there's that bit with Colin Robinson and Nadja.
Oh, when he tries to kiss it.
Amazing.
Oh, I sent a text to a friend who was talking about someone who'd been at a party, and there was this person just constantly almost following them around, going with them, making every single conversation about themselves, to the point where it was completely draining on the conversation. You couldn't have a conversation with everybody else. And while watching this episode, I texted my friend and said, you know that person you met at the party? I think they're an energy vampire.
Hell yes.
We've all met a Colin Robinson, right?
Yeah, my mom's a bit of a Colin Robinson.
Oh, yeah. I can think of quite a few. There's one in particular where he knows I'm not a fan of him, and we were at a party, and I'd gotten some trivia fact incorrect about where a certain song was from, and because of my history on great success on quiz shows, he suddenly decided that the only thing anyone at this large party of people wanted to do was watch me and him go head to head on trivia. And if it was, I couldn't think of anything worse if you're at a party, like, to just watch us. And he had no idea what it takes to build and write a quiz. As a trivia host myself, there's so much work that goes into building an appropriate structure of questions, making sure everything is kind of inclusive, not all the questions are on the same topic. No one wants me to write a Doctor Who quiz that's just like 90% of the questions are about Doctor Who. You might, and I could. But that's not fun for everyone, and you want everyone to be able to get at least a few questions and have something that's from there. When I was writing it for my team at work, I very specifically put in specific questions for certain people.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, this is the question that I reckon this person will get, and have their moment of feeling, because that's the buzz I get out of it. I knew that, writing it down.
Yeah.
Yes, we don't want. It's not an exciting time at a party.
New.
So I think this person might actually be an energy vampire. It explains his personality more than, are you really that awful a person?
Yeah, they just can't help it. They got to eat.
Well, that's it. They need it. They've got to get the buzz.
Yeah.
It's such a great concept of the energy vampire, which wasn't in the movie.
Right. Yes. Yeah, it's so funny. They have these camp weirdos and they just have this like regular boring ass dude living there.
And he turns out, and quite often, he's the one that's more powerful than any of them because he's the least oblivious. The other three are absolutely oblivious to what is and isn't appropriate. Like, I love all the tropes that they bring in, like, lean into the silliest vampire stuff, like, even down to their fashion. They haven't evolved with modern fashion and have no desire to, which you can understand if you were long-lived. The passing of like fashion time to time would seem silly, and you get to a point where you're just like wearing what you feel comfortable with. And I mean, I'm doing that, and I'm only 40.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of times when you get older, you end up wearing what you wanted to wear when you were 13. And it's like, yeah, same, bro. All I wanted was comfy sneaks and T-shirts with characters on them.
These ones have sparkly rhinestones. For the listener, I am holding up my new pair of shoes I just bought this week, which are hot pink and completely covered in teeny tiny bright pink rhinestones that sparkle.
Wow.
So I am 40 going on 10, it seems. Certainly fashion-wise.
That's great.
But it makes me so happy. I have at least 3 pairs of sparkly shoes.
Wow.
Obviously red ones, because every girl needs ruby slippers. Pink ones and white ones. And I don't think I'm stopping there. Now I just need Nike to bring out an Air Force One with rhinestones, and I'll be in heaven.
Is that a type of shoe, Air Force One?
Yeah, they're like, I do. There we go. These ones. These are my old ones.
Very cool.
But I've just got abnormally wide, large feet, so they're the ones I know to be consistently comfortable, so I stick with them.
Cool.
I might get some branding advertising from Nike now. We've mentioned it on the pod.
There you go.
You can be an influencer. Send me free shoes.
Mm-hmm. I'd love plenty of Levi's, although they're not as good as they used to be since they moved their factories and stuff.
That's what happens. It's having the
source things more cheaply.
You notice when it happens, you like, why the quality's dropped here. You got to get onto things while they're while they're new and innovative.
Now, our vamps must have been laundering the same old clothes for a century, or they're having them remade from time to time.
Well, back in the old days, things lasted. They're from an era pre-fast fashion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're, it's the same thing we say about like white goods. You have a fridge that's 40 years old that is still kicking on, still doing the job, and you buy a brand new one and you needed to buy it, and then it's dead in 10 years, 5 years. Built-in obsolescence is deeply problematic of our society, I think. Whereas they would be like, Nandor's got his fur coat. I probably didn't buy it. Probably had it made from something he killed on the hunt, and that's going to hold out for centuries.
Totally. All right, I'm starting my little video here. Guillermo is marking the ground with spray paint. There's various sinkholes with human bodies inside them. And Nandor's like, we're playing a game that Guillermo made up. Guillermo's like, it's not a game.
Yes.
The next day, Guillermo's doing a testimonial, and behind him, a delivery guy sinks down in the soil, and he pulls out an arm.
Random arm. Is that the arm of the boss vampire? Or is it just a random rotted arm?
Oh, the Baron?
Yeah, the Baron, him.
I don't know
They
where he's
buried
buried.
him in one of these holes. I mean, they've obviously buried a lot of people in those holes.
Yeah. I thought he was turned to dust.
I think he comes back. Eventually he is, but I think at this point he hasn't yet.
Oh, he's just out in the yard somewhere.
Yeah, because he reappears. I think at the end of this season.
Yeah,
around
listener,
the time Guillermo.
Get ready to experience some spoilers. You should go back and watch all of season 1 and the first 5 episodes of season 5 before you worry about any spoilers, because we're going to spoil it all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
And pretty much the whole series, probably.
Well, I hope not the whole series. I've still got to watch the latest season.
Oh, okay. So let's try to stick to whatever's
I think I've watched like
time.
there's 6 seasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I've watched 5.
Okay, cool. So
It's
you've
not
seen
too bad.
The Harpy.
Yes.
Neighbor guy runs for office.
Oh.
Maybe that's the
Maybe
last
I think.
season.
Well, I would have only seen season 1 once, and as we know, regular listeners will know, I am a chronic rewatcher because I have ADHD and my brain doesn't register at all on the first watch. I think sometimes it's a deliberate thing where I just try to pick up the vibe on a first watch and just react to it without thinking about it. And then I will go back because I love the value of a rewatch. I love picking up new stuff that I have never seen before. Like, as we know, I've seen Eternal Sunshine more than 40 times, and I'm still picking up new things every time I watch it. And that is the sign of good content for me anyway.
What do you think of this theme song in the opening credits?
This is one of the ones that I will always watch the credits and the theme song every time. I never skip it because there's so many little details particularly in the visuals, where you're getting all these snippets from their life, their history, who they were, and it gives you messaging, like enables you to kind of go, oh, okay, well, and there he's standing there and doing that. And you just don't. I'll watch this one, Doctor Who, unless it's a big binge session where I'm watching, obviously, like a whole season. I'll probably start skipping it after about like 4 or 5 episodes. But The song is amazing. It's different from anything you'd normally get as a theme tune. And it is a massive earworm, which is now stuck in my head.
That's right. Don't sing if you want to live long. I love all the artistry of the papers and the photographs, like that one from the 70s kind of vibe, like where dude doesn't have his beard. It made me wonder if they spliced in a picture of Barry from when he wasn't wearing his beard.
He's so good, Matt Berry. And just like Doctor Who, I was very skeptical because I'd seen the movie. I love the movie. I went and saw the movie when it was just this tiny indie New Zealand film. It had none of the hype. We just went, and this is before Taika Waititi was the icon of cinema he is today. He was just, for me, I was like, well, I like Flight of the Conchords and Jermaine Clement's in this, and
Too many dicks on the dance floor. Too many dicks. Too many dicks on the dance floor. Too many dicks. Too many dicks on the dance floor. Too many dicks. Going to the party, sipping on Bacardi.
I will get on board and give it a crack. I never, because I'm not a big horror fan.
Mm-hmm.
Not a horror fan at all. The thing all my favorite horror films and TV shows are all the funny ones. So if there's an element of comedy to it, where it's leaning into tropes and being like Shaun of the Dead is a great example of a horror film that I love. There's a great New Zealand film called Black Sheep, which you would love. I think it's got to be like 15 plus years old now, but it's about zombie sheep. And there's a stereotype, certainly, that Australians put onto New Zealanders, because there are more sheep than people in New Zealand, I believe. That you can fill in the gap without me becoming crass about it, but I imagine the sort of jokes that Australians make about New Zealanders, given the sheep to human ratio.
Yeah, they wear a lot of wool, obviously.
Yeah, of course. That's what I meant. Absolutely. Nothing inappropriate. No bestiality at all. But they do. They lean into it as well. It's kind of, fun banter relationship. But the movie was great. Loved it. So when this came out, just like Doctor Who, I was like, nah, they're going to ruin it. And I'm sorry, America, you do have a long history of making really terrible remakes of Australian and British, or Australasian and British content. Kath and Kim. Ever see the Red Dwarf, American Red Dwarf?
God,
with
no.
Jane Leeves as the cat, as in Daphne from Frasier.
Jesus.
Of course I'm not okay. I'm now 2.9 million years over my rated lifespan. My memory is shot, all my circuits are breaking down. Actually, that one felt kind of good.
Yeah, all of them are...
I like American Ghosts. I'm still watching that, but something is lacking with when you have Brits at the helm, or when you don't, rather.
Yeah, I've got one exception where I absolutely, without question, prefer the American one, and that's The Office.
I declare bankruptcy!
I don't like Ricky Gervais, though.
Guy is a putz. Just a slimy little worm.
I don't do comedy that kicks down. That's not funny. That's lazy to me, as someone who has spent a lot of hours of my life analysing comedy. That is, he epitomises punching down, lazy, hack.
Mm-hmm.
Even the one that everyone said I would like, Afterlife, the one about his was his wife passing or something, and I was like, oh, I'll give it a go. I switched it off within, I think, 10 minutes, because within 10 minutes he'd made fun of a small child for being chubby with red hair, and he'd made the joke that made me walk out of a Tracy Jordan show, which was the stereotypical, I can't trust women, can't trust someone bleeds for 5 days and doesn't die. I walked out of a Tracy Morgan show when he made that joke, and I switched off Ricky Gervais. And he made some kind of, like, it was something equally hack if it wasn't that joke. So... But this show, this is a wonderful example of where America's production has taken something international and really made it its own thing.
That's right.
With love and respect. And it helps you have Matt Berry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All the players are well cast and funny, and they give it their all. I enjoy Guillermo's arc as he becomes disillusioned with his role in the house.
And also his family history.
Yeah.
Being related to the Van Helsing. Although Guillermo is, we need him in the same way Doctor Who needs a companion. He's kind of the lens of the audience for them to be able to connect with these incredibly out there, weird, beautiful characters. I can never decide who my favorite is. Do you have a favorite?
Oh, it's just like, I'll think about everything I love about them, and then I'll think about the stuff about them that annoys me, and I'll move on to the next one. Like, it's like that. It's like having 4 problematic friends. Or I guess in this case 5 because of Guillermo. So it's kind of like a Seinfeld situation. Like, who do I want to hang out with today? Yeah. You know, because I won't be able to hang out with him for more than like 30 minutes.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Also, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Similarly, like they're great to watch, but I would not want to hang out with those guys.
Men and women, raising a child together is a proven system 1,000 years old. There are parental roles that need to be filled here, right? Otherwise, the kid winds up roaming the streets, having unprotected sex with multiple partners, sharing needles, and contracting the HIV virus, and it's all your fault. Are you happy, Dee? Is this what you wanted? You just gave this baby full-blown AIDS.
It would end badly. But they're all oblivious. That's the beauty of it, right? They're so disconnected from the world they're living in a modern sense.
Yeah. I don't think I could live without Nadja.
Well, she's a total queen. She's kind of the only smart one. But then she also has her vanities and her blind spots. Mm-hmm. So generally, she can be a bit more of the voice of reason, but she also, has her moments. Nadia Dole, though, she's the real voice of reason.
Yeah, and she knows even less than Nadja Vampire.
I love that they kept her around from that episode. Like, what was a one-off episode where they all were dealing with their past selves in ghost form, and Nadia just decides to stick around. She's like, I'll hang out with the person I find most intelligent, which is myself.
All right. So after the theme song, they're digging up bodies, and this guy shows up, and it's Mark Hamill doing a weird accent.
I did not recognize him the first time I watched this.
Of course not. How could you?
I was sitting there going, But I knew him. So I spent the entire episode doing my head in, deciding whether or not to pull the trigger and check out IMDb, because I'm always more satisfied when I can come up with it myself. This is iconic performance from Mark Hamill.
Yes, Jim the Vampire.
Jim the Vampire. In his beautiful cloak, too.
Oh,
Stunning.
yes. So, Nandor is a complete coward. He's like,
Absolutely.
please, Mr. Mystery Man, do not harm me.
Please, Mr. Mystery Man, do not harm me. If you wish to kill someone, kill my familia. It won't be as satisfying, but it will be much easier.
Silence!
He'll be easier. He's, for someone whose name is the Relentless, he's quite spineless.
Yes.
I think my note says adorably hopeless. By and large, he means well.
I'm just wondering how he conquered all those kingdoms when he, is so cowardly.
How does any despot leader? They have they've an effective team under them, whether they rule it by fear or otherwise. Maybe he just charmed everyone into wanting to support him, and then he had some really ruthless underlings.
Yeah, maybe if Laszlo and Nadja were more ruthless, they'd be more successful. Because they're just this tiny little group on Staten Island with no pull.
They get there, though. They do, but when they become the council.
Yeah, they fail up.
Yeah. And I'm all right with that with these guys, because it's just going to end. It'll end in some sort of chaos.
Oh, yeah.
Usually, especially with the cursed hat.
It's a big bloody stupid hat with a big bloody stupid curse on it, and every time you wear it, something bloody stupid terrible happens.
Nonsense. Gizmo likes it, don't you?
That fucking hat. Oh, shit. So Jim's like, I'm here for you, Laszlo. And Laszlo doesn't recognize him at all. He says, I have gone by so many names, all of them feared by the whispers of time. Laszlo's like, oh, well, I went to the crossroads to make a deal with the devil, but I was misinformed that it was in California instead of Mississippi.
The fact that he would just go on this kind of... I love it when they're referencing stuff they've done at different points, that there's repercussions. That's part of being long-lived as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your enemies will continue to come for you.
I mean, the way Jim the Vampire is hunting him for so long, it suggests that he stayed there for years. Because, didn't he say all he owes is last month's rent and the security deposit? Yeah,
it implies, Jim implies throughout the whole episode that it basically, this Laszlo not paying this debt has completely crippled him. But it's
so stupid.
Definitely references just being a month's rent.
Vampires clearly don't understand money. Maybe his familiar never explained how much he actually lost.
Just another one of those moments where, like their fashion, they're so clueless to modern society and the concept of, inflation, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
It's what it was, 167 years, right? That he's been.
That's right.
Which is very specific.
It is. What happened 167 years before this? Would this be 2021 or 2020?
Yeah, I think so.
So if we go back, say 70 from that, you'd be at 1951. So 1850s. What was going on in California? Oh, the gold rush.
Oh, the rent of these. So if the rent was on his gold like his prospect. And maybe Laszlo got a gold out of it, though.
I guess they charged a shit ton of rent back then because so many people were trying to come and stake claims. So maybe it would have been a lot relative to other times.
And they also had deals where someone could dig on your land and you had to kind of you paid a certain amount to then split the proceeds off the gold, which would explain that it is a huge financially crippling figure. We made sense of it. Excellent.
Wow. we're doing important work.
Yeah, absolutely. If not us, then who, Jeff? If not us, then who?
That's right. So Jim doesn't go into the exact figure, just that he's searched for 167 years to get his debt paid. Laszlo's like, no deal. I'm not dueling. Or no, I'm not paying. So he has to duel.
All the others are telling him, just pay him. Just pay him. Pay him the money. Nando because he's a coward. Nadia because she's sensible.
Yeah. But it suggests that they fear this guy or think he's strong enough to kill Laszlo.
I think they know they're all quite weak. Realistically, they're generally quite coward. Like they're all of them are like, we just want to live in our little bubble over here. Because it was the same thing with the ghosts and the werewolves, the council, the baron. Someone's usually coming for them.
Yeah.
Vampire hunters.
Yeah, they've always got somebody dominating them. I mean, heck, the witch hat guy.
You really are the most devious bastard in New York City.
Oh, the witch hat guy, yeah.
It's always poking him in the eye.
It makes me think of... Oh, it just makes me think of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where there's a point where they're talking about... And Mac just says, but who is it versus? Who is it against? Like, and they were just... It was just that they were doing something good. But he's like, but who are we doing it versus?
I wrote a musical. It's pretty damn good. Okay, I want to put it on. Right, what's your angle? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, whose face are we shoving this
You don't
musical
shove a musical in someone's face. What are you talking about? Right, but who versus?
They've always got to kind of have that antagonist, but you usually the antagonists are the ones that make a little bit more sense than these guys.
So Laszlo starts circling the guy. And Nadja goes, that's right, scare him with your circles.
That's right, scare him with your circles.
Give him hell, Laszlo.
Oh, that's so funny.
Courage and honor. Aye, courage and honor. Laszlo says honor, funny.
Courage and honor.
And then he fucks off.
Yes, courage and honor.
And yeah, it's what's his name? The Jim starts to chase after him and falls into a pit full of bodies.
All the little details, what we thought was just a little joke at the front, pays off, becomes part of the storyline. It's Chekhov's grave, that's what that is.
Yeah, although they don't really wait till Act 3 to spring it.
Well, it's hard in a 23-minute episode. Yes. And the dueling has such very specific rules. I mean, dueling generally does have very specific rules, as Hamilton teaches us. But they're so, and then he just, yes, I'm a little bit behind you. He completely fucks off.
1, 2, 3, 4, fuck off.
Yeah.
Whoosh.
Am I a coward? Of course not. There's no honor in defeat.
Yeah, that's when he's writing his letter to her from the motel room.
Yes. Where he's had the disguise hidden clearly for such a long time.
I suppose it won't surprise thee to learn that I've prepared for a night such as this. So, my sweet angel, it is here that I bid you farewell.
And his suitcase has disguise written on it in like childlike handwriting.
Love the man formerly known as Laszlo.
He's pulling out his costume. And the most important bit, my foolproof human disguise.
My foolproof human disguise for whenever the shit hits the wind makes me completely unrecognizable.
And we head over to Clairton, Pennsylvania. He's working at a bar.
He chose Pennsylvania because it sounds like Transylvania.
And we all know that sounds cool. I now go by the name of Daytona, Jackie Daytona.
Real human bartender. Your average Yankee Doodle dandy. He's flipping bottles around like he's Tom Cruise in Cocktail.
Mm-hmm. It's so weird seeing him do actual work because he avoids everything at home.
He still uses his powers on the slide to make the jukebox work and get everybody dancing. And then we have Lucy, who, that actress, I will never not see her as Jan from the Brady Bunch, in the Brady Bunch movie.
This is Jan from the Brady Bunch?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Jan from the Brady Bunch movie. It looks like her.
Why does Marsha get everything? Marsha!
Wow, she was really good in this.
Now I need to dub. Not the TV show, obviously, because she'd be considerably older.
Yeah, that lady's got to be in her 80s.
Yeah, I think she's still rocking around. I think she or is she passed now? I'm now double checking because I don't want to incorrectly credit just due to, face blindness, actor face blindness. Jennifer Elise Cox, is that her?
Marsha.
Doesn't pop up on her,
Maybe she just has a Jan face.
Maybe. Well, but I mean, she's only in this one role, so maybe it wouldn't be on the first page of her IMDb. There we go, filmography. Because I could be talking about I might be talking about a completely different actress. I think I am. Because she's, yeah. All right, scratch that. Sorry, listeners. Trivia memory is not always as, even I get questions wrong.
Well, folks, do a side-by-side of Jennifer Elise Cox in the Brady Bunch movie. And is she the same Jennifer Elise Cox in this movie?
Well, I'm just looking up the episode now to see. No, her name's Madeline Martin.
Madeline Martin.
Do a side-by-side of Jennifer Elise Cox and Madeline Martin. And I was convinced they were the same. So I said it with such confidence. I'm glad I checked.
Yeah.
I just hate it when you message me later and tell me I've gotten a fact wrong.
She's like the millennial version of Jennifer Elise Cox. She's slightly younger.
Yeah. So where are we at now?
I'm looking now. It really is uncanny. There's similarity.
Thank you. That makes me feel better.
Although Madeline Martin usually has dark hair, whereas Cox is almost always blonde.
I don't trust hair. I have blue hair. That's not my natural color. Shockingly.
All right. So we got the new Cox. She plays Lucy. She's a waitress who thinks Jackie is super cool. Laszlo is amazed by the singing fish.
Big mouth buried bass or whatever they're called.
Yes. Billy Big Mouth Bass.
I remember seeing that on Rove, Rove McManus. You've come across him in your Australian podcasting adventures at least.
Mm-hmm.
And he used to have a Tonight Show, which was like the biggest show on Australian TV at the time. That was the first time I ever saw a big mouth Billy Bass, and I laughed so hard.
You thought they'd made it up for the bit?
Oh no, I knew, after that you saw them everywhere. But the first time, whenever I was just watching it, and then when its head turns, and I know they all do different songs, but this one was doing Don't Worry, Be Happy. So it was like on the don't worry. And the little face would turn to,
I'm picturing it. It's working.
I'd never seen anything so funny at the time.
Oh my.
This one doesn't sing that song though.
Mm-mm.
And then we're at volleyball, women's volleyball.
Oh yeah.
Coach,
while she talks about him, we see him kicking ass. Is he coaching or just boosting?
He's magicking the balls to where they're supposed to go. It's like all of a sudden the team suddenly got successful when Jackie Daytona turned up, and you see him doing his using his vampire powers. And Coach Swanson, her name is, says so the balls just started going where they were supposed to. Jackie Daytona shows up. Suddenly the balls are going where they're supposed to. And he's still wearing. I love his coat, but it is in Bucks purple.
Yes. Let's see. So he's supporting the local girls volleyball team, the Bucks. It's funny. I was writing, it's weird not seeing Laz do anything magical, which apparently he's been doing that whole sequence. And then suddenly he's tossing the charity bikers superhumanly far. But I feel so silly that I wasn't catching on. I thought he was just really charismatic and hopeful, maybe even doing a little bit of mind control to make him better. But I didn't consider telekinesis. But maybe that's why they show him juking the jukebox.
Yes, to establish that he does use his powers, but he's just, you see him do a little shifty look around.
Yeah. So I was thinking, are they trying to do a Patrick Swayze thing here where hot guy rolls into town and roughs up the bad guys or whatever?
Yes.
This
Roadhouse. Episode draws on so many tropes.
I mean, the talent show, the big to-do at the end to raise money, that's a constant 80s trope.
It's a John Hughes classic.
Yeah.
It literally, this episode could be set in Shermer, Illinois. Like all John Hughes films are. Yeah, I think of so many, and a lot of these tropes, I guess, is stuff I associate. The concept of going to state is such a thing I associate with American, particularly because we've only got 6 states here. You can have state finals and you have the state, but you'd have more of a state sports team rather than competing for being the best in all the states.
Okay, yeah.
So that concept of like going to state or going to regionals if it's Glee or going to... That is something I very much associate, like that trope. And you've got the hard done by sports team who are struggling and they need the money.
Hell yeah.
So they can't afford it. And some local business owner comes good.
We see he sleeps in an empty cooler. Probably puts his dirt in there.
Well, as long as it's just under him, right? He, like when they went to Vegas,
Right.
they had just had to have it under the bed, and then the cleaner vacuumed it up.
Oh shit.
I have never felt so small, and what is the point of anything?
So the coach thanks Jackie.
You're the heart and soul of this team, sir.
Yes, you are.
I am just a regular human guy.
Even it says it in his name when, they do the little credit underneath. It says Jackie Daytona, regular human bartender.
They get some tough news. They can't afford to go to state due to budget cuts. He breaks a glass and says, "I need some air," and goes out back.
Oh, and another fabulous jacket as well with the little holes in it where it's got rainbow underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely beautiful. I promised I'd never get emotional in front of you, you chaps. He does nothing but get emotional.
And I promised I'd never get emotional in front of you chaps, but I didn't scrape and murder my way to Pennsylvania to watch those talented athletes get fucked off.
That reminds me of something I saw yesterday, like, men, they get so emotional, and how, like, saying that to a man upset him so much.
Yes. Oh, the precious snowflakes. But, you can't elect women because women would be too emotional. You can't employ them in. No. Ugh.
He starts talking to the bass. What does he say? Oh man, it started another ad. So he was talking to the bass.
Yes. Hey, I don't know about you, Billy Bass. Something along those lines.
Lucy's asking questions. She thinks Jackie's a real mystery. And he says, "This is just the way we talk in Tucson, Arizona."
You're such a mystery. You say you're from Tucson, but you talk all fancy and Europe-like.
This is the way we talk in Tucson, Arizona.
All fancy and Europe-like.
She starts singing Simply Irresistible, and he's like, "Ooh, that gives me an idea."
And she's not even that great of a singer.
But here, this is a thing we learn later about vampires, which is they love shit that sucks.
Yeah.
Or not sucks exactly, but that's like pro-am, that's like low budget. Like, they'd probably love Ed Wood and like B movies. Like we've seen the porn that he made. It was just that like whack pizza man delivery bullshit.
She said that my pornos were boring, which is an unbelievable reaction. I showed her a century's worth of my pornos. That's a lot of porn. I don't think she followed the plots.
Oh, and the songs he puts out when him and Nadia are a singing duo, like a musical duo, and they start like writing songs together, and they're all just naff.
Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take ya. Bermuda, Bahama, come on, pretty mama.
Yes, and the most shocking example is that vampires apparently love kid novelty acts. I don't know if you've got to that season yet, but they do some kid novelty acts.
I think so. Yeah,
when they have a nightclub.
Yes, yes. I remember. And another one of the like tropes in there, like that human food makes them sick,
Yes.
which gets covered off in a lot of different it's considered one of the minor plot holes in Buffy, because Angel he just gets his blood from the blood drive place or the butcher or whatever to keep himself alive, but Spike really enjoys human food. You see him, drinking boo, getting pizza. So it doesn't make them vomit the way it does with these guys. Whenever they eat human food, they suddenly projectile vomit like it's straight out of The Exorcist.
God, that's so nasty. Yeah, without gut enzymes, like you'd think it'd just be like all the food mashed up, just sitting in a version of a stomach, and they'd have to like drain it somehow. Maybe they puke it up later.
Maybe.
Maybe they cut themselves open and scoop it out.
Well, it'd heal back up again, so as long as you're not doing it with wooden, you stay out of the region of the heart, you're okay.
Yeah. So Jackie plans to put on a talent show to raise funds. He ends up mind controlling people so that they'll come. We charge $5 a ticket, and he does really spooky shadow puppetry. He like makes a bat fly without his hands.
And in a tiny country, like tiny rural town, at $5 a ticket, yeah, we'll raise enough money, sure.
It's just such a tiny amount of money, surely. The way those things work is like people pay the $5, but then they end up giving a lot more. Like that's what those waste baskets are probably full of extra money.
Yes. And we go back to Staten Island. Get a brief little snippet of what the other guys are all doing. Nadia's devastated.
Yeah, she misses her man. It looked like Colin was trying to drain Nandor there.
I mean, it's a constant effort with Colin. He's just always, putting little feelers out there just to see if he can get a bit of a feed.
Yeah. So he goes over and finds Nadja, lets her blather, and she's wailing about the situation. He pretends to care about her. She says, he says she seems lonely, and then he pretends to try and kiss her, and she gets so weirded out.
That unwanted kiss rejection is one of the most awkward interactions you can have, and therefore the most delicious form of energy draining.
I definitely can relate to that. Boy, howdy. It was usually me on the other side, though, so I wouldn't have known that it was draining.
Yeah.
But I did have a recent one.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a Thanksgiving feast. Mwah.
Chef's kiss.
If I wasn't married and you were a completely different person. Ouch. And then she goes, I wanted to check all the walls in every room.
Any excuse to get out of the situation. But then he cracks onto the doll, and he actually meant it. I mean, Nadia's doll is cooler than actual Nadia. Like, she doesn't get sucked in. Like, Nadia's weak point is her love for Laszlo, right?
Yeah, she's just kind of an ignorant villager, it seems like.
Well, that was her background. She was just from
But she's learned enough
village.
to know that Colin Robinson is a putz.
True.
Do you think his powers affect her?
That gets covered. There's there's a point where he's just drained. I think it's the one where he's getting he gets promoted at work, so his power gets out of control, and he ends up draining all of them. Or so I think it's that episode. I could be wrong.
That one's excellent. Maybe I'll watch that when we're done here.
I want to watch more. I had to restrain myself from watching more because then I wouldn't be able to talk about this one. I'd just consistently be referencing other episodes, which I'm doing anyway, but I tried to keep it to a minimum.
For real. So back at the bar, Mark Hamill rolls in, but doesn't recognize Jackie. He orders 1 human alcohol beer.
And flips it over his shoulder.
You are just a regular human bartender.
Wearing another fabulous cloak.
Yeah, it's amazing.
With that excessively popped collar.
Yeah, it's a real Time Lord collar.
Yes.
I will not die! Do you hear me?
Could see Rassilon rocking around in that.
Rassilon is a vampire.
Ooh. Yeah, salt of the earth, that's all I am. Just a regular human bartender. As Jim the Vampire throws the beer over his shoulder.
Yep. So around 15 minutes, Jim says he's a slippery heathen more vile than the most vile villain, a pestilence masquerading as a man, a cowardly worm of a person. And Jackie still doesn't know if he's on to Laszlo or not. It's a...
Sounds like a regular wacko, a real son of a bitch.
And then he leaves a card and walks out, and he's like, "Nice to meet you, Jim the Vampire. How did you know my name?"
It's printed on your card very clearly.
Oh, right.
And they don't, the mirror's all covered. Notice there's no phone number on the card either, or no way, how does he contact him? If it just literally just says Jim the Vampire.
Maybe write your number by hand on the other side.
Feels like a waste.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it's like the old-timey calling card from before there were telephones. Because, he's been around God knows how long. He was around in 1850.
Which is about that kind of... That was definitely... I've been watching a bit of Bridgerton. There's a lot of calling cards in that.
Yeah. I don't even know if they had the telegraph at that point. I don't think so.
No, you just send a note, send a letter.
So
Snail
Laszlo's
mail.
like, well, now he's on to me. I should leave. But I'm Jackie Daytona, and I made a promise to this town.
He's really living that small town regular human bartender life.
That's right. So, they're at the talent show. Laszlo gives the speech. They've raised enough money. And then Lucy starts singing her song. I believe it's Simply Irresistible again.
And she's okay. It's not this is where the stereotype trope, she'd have this incredible talent.
That's right. They didn't go that direction. I guess they felt that would muddle the episode, or maybe they couldn't afford a great singer.
I just think it's funny that he thinks she's a great singer and she's kind of average.
Yeah.
She's not out of tune.
Because he's got vampire taste.
Yeah, exactly. And then Jim reappears.
Ugh. Laszlo is worried. Jim says it's sad the volleyball team isn't going. He decided to come help because he saw a flyer. And he says someone swindled him years ago.
I'm extremely poor. Your fundraiser has been my only source of hope in a long, long time.
He orders one human alcohol martini. Martini, an aristocrat. I like that. Anytime Laszlo puts on the fake fancy, I love it. Oh, somehow the blanket comes off the mirror.
Yes, someone walking past when the bus boy is grabbing a tray, it pulls it off.
Yeah, so Jim is wise. They decide to fight, and they start busting up the bar. It's super brutal. Stuntmen slamming each other around.
Through the pool table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jim punches him, and he just breaks the pool table in half with his body. They get pool cues, and it made me think here, I want to pause this. It made me think that vampires instinctively know stakes are a bad idea, so they like break them and turn them into crosses.
Which is burning their own hands.
It's like from one weapon we can't use to a weapon that is dumb to use because it hurts us.
Yeah. The hissing. Love the hissing.
Laz shoots some fire at him. Oh, he says you're fired. That doesn't even make any sense. I don't work for you. He lights the banner on fire. And the money.
And they realize, what have we done?
Their fight ruined the team's chances to go to state.
And suddenly they stop fighting. Oh, and when he's like, hold on, I've got this with the water, with the drink spray. And it just fizzles. All like sad little squirt. Who are the real losers in all this? The girls' volleyball team.
So Laszlo says he's going to pay the debt. Again, this guy's like, even the most wealthy of vampires would struggle to pay what you owe. So the only way that's conceivably true is if he's been charging compound interest. Now,
I would think so.
It's true, during the gold rush, some landlords charged excessively high late fees and would compound the interest like loan shark style rather than a bank like once a year. So it's conceivable that debt ballooned to an absurd amount.
I believe it. It's the closest thing we ever had to a revolution in this country was fought over between landlords and prospectors during the gold rush.
Wow.
It's called the Eureka Stockade. The closest thing we've ever had to a revolution in this country. So that all makes sense to me.
So he tricks him into thinking the big mouth Billy Bass is a one-of-a-kind treasure. And because the guy has vampire taste, he doesn't realize. Do you think Laszlo knew that they were rare? Or that they weren't rare?
I felt like the way he says it in the moment, it sounds like it's the only one, because he was so astounded by it when he came across it as well. So there's every chance he did think that. And Jim the vampire is stoked.
Yeah, he's happy. Happy to have it. Your debt is paid, Laszlo Cravensworth. Excelsior.
Excelsior.
So Laszlo decides to leave in his big-ass truck, but crashes it instead, so then he has to fly off as a bat.
We never learned how to drive. Immediately just smashes it into the wall.
Do you think they smashed a real truck? Or do they have fake Hollywood trucks?
Whichever's cheaper.
So he returns home and Nadja is excited to see him. But Nandor isn't that impressed, just kind of strolls by.
Says hello,
Laszlo's
Laszlo.
like, what? I've been gone ages. And he's like, it's been like a week. Nadja's licking his hand.
Licking his fingers.
I said, welcome back, didn't I? Fucking guy.
Who cares?
So Laszlo burned up the bar to pay for sending the team to state, but then he had to burn another building to pay for the waiter that was burned during the first fire to pay for his funeral.
Was the waiter Lucy? Because she passes back out when he says she's unconscious and he passes out, and then he's like, it would never have worked between us. First of all, I'm married. Second, I'm a vampire, and she faints again. So it could be Lucy.
He does say his.
He does say his. You're right.
I'm looking at the caption. One of the wait staff was still in the building, so I had to set fire to another building to pay for his funeral.
Yeah.
Then he hypnotizes the entire town, so they forget about vampires. He recommends Jim the vampire to be on the coaching staff. I think.
Yes.
I think that's his role.
Yes, it says Coach Jim on his jumper.
Yes.
On his jacket thing, yeah. Coach Jim.
It says around his
Jim
high
the
collar.
coach.
It says
Jim
around
the
his high
coach.
collar hustle.
Yeah.
Laszlo does his Jackie impression for Nadja. And she says, I want to see if your other toothpick is made of wood.
Playing that little sex. So nothing you're doing in my boudoir.
Nadja the doll turns to the camera. And we can only speculate as to her opinion of this.
Ugh.
And then we have a mid-credits sequence of Jim dropping his magic fish. And the coach says, don't worry about it. You can get him anywhere. I'll pick you up one after work. Cravensworth!
Which leaves it open for future Jim the Vampire.
Yeah, I did a quick Google. Turns out he never came back.
I mean, it's Mark Hamill. I imagine he's hard to get.
Could be, yes. He does work a lot. A lot of video games and cartoons.
Yeah, a lot of voice acting. Not to mention conventions and all sorts as well, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. So post-credit sequence, we're back with Jackie Daytona. He says that he found out there's an indie band also called Jackie Daytona. He says, I'm pretty confident there's no conflict. And I have to say this because someone called Mark from Clearance told me to. And he makes a jerk-off motion.
I love those little, like, fourth wall breaks in these mockumentary style.
Oh, yeah.
Parks and Rec does it a lot. Oh, such a good time.
That is a classic. Definitely an important introduction of a character we'll see a time or two after.
Yes.
The closest thing this reminds me to is when the cat on Red Dwarf is turned into Dwayne Dibley.
I don't want to be Dwayne Dibley.
Oh, so good. Or also Rimmer. Ace Rimmer.
Oh, Ace Rimmer.
Smoke me a kipper, Skipper. I'll be back for breakfast.
Smoke me a kipper. I'll be back for breakfast.
What a guy.
What a guy. Love him. Well, but he does. He goes from this putz to being this incredibly, like, charismatic, charming. You're like, I'm here for it.
Who, like, actually seems to care about people.
Yes.
Whereas Laszlo pretty much cares about no one. I mean, I guess he cares about Nadja, but it's sort of half-assed man-boy sort of love.
Yeah, he cares when she's not paying attention to him.
But yeah, as Jackie Daytona, he's got a whole.
Well, he does get
regular
jealous of Jeff.
Oh, yes.
Gregor, her human
yes.
lover who keeps getting beheaded and then reincarnated.
Yeah, I wish we got more of him. He was hilarious. Or like the idea of him is hilarious.
Oh, it's so many little like teasers and payoffs, and you know, like the guide Kristen Schaal.
She's fantastic. Kristen Schaal is great. I love her bit she used to do. Kristen Schaal is a horse.
I was about to bring it up.
It's like
she
10 minutes long, and you just have to sit with it with this guy shouting Kristen Schaal is a horse over and over and over again. It's incredible.
They did that at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival Gala. So it's the world's largest independent comedy festival, but there's always a big gala where everyone comes at, you know, they get some names from the festival, come out and do a 10-minute spot. And I remember seeing Kristen Schaal as a horse and being like, I kept going from, this is so stupid, to, oh my God, this could be the funniest thing I've ever seen. No, wait, it's just stupid. No, it's hilarious. It was, something else.
Yeah, she's also great in Bob's Burgers.
It's not worth it, Dad. If you hit him, your hand would smell like ointment and pee.
You smell like ointment and pee.
You smell like ointment and pee!
Oh, I haven't watched any Bob's Burgers.
I've only seen a few eps, but people love it.
I'm a bit funny with cartoons for adults. They've got to be of a certain... I love South Park, love King of the Hill. But I do not like Family Guy. Don't like American Dad.
Yeah. McFarlane usually misses me.
Same. Just does not hit my funny bone. Yeah, no, give me South Park any day. Those guys are genius.
Yes. Well, we did it. We did what we do in the shadows. I'm sure there's a lot more we could say about it, about the show in general, but about this episode, was there anything we didn't touch on that you wanted us to make sure to focus on?
No, I think we hit everything. I mean, love that the focus is a women's sports team.
Yeah. It's like Jackie Daytona isn't a misogynist.
Yeah.
He's not doing it so he can screw them.
No. He just wants to support the team.
It's the perfect human disguise.
No, it's very, very, very funny. I have a friend with a shirt that is got a picture of him and it just says Jackie Daytona, regular human bartender.
Nice. Yeah, I imagine the best disguise is to be a completely bland person with no human attachments. But I don't think that could work for old Cravensworth. Like, he's an extrovert. He likes to be paid attention to. He likes to make it about himself. So.
Well, he could have left the first time Jim the Vampire turned up, but.
Yeah, it was about helping people. It was like, who is this guy? You could be like this all the time, Cravensworth.
So out of character.
But then we wouldn't have a show.
No. It's such a good show. Are they done now, or are they making more?
I believe it's over. I believe that's was the last season. Yeah.
I like that we live in an era where a show can exist, tell its story, and end without jumping the shark.
Yes. Yeah. I'm
I
trying
love
to
those
think.
roles.
I'm thinking about the jumping the shark moment and what it all means, and I feel like I could do a whole episode.
I was obsessed with that website. I think last week we talked about the early days of the internet, right? I don't know whether it was on being recorded when we were talking about that, but it's that was one of my favorite. When most websites were mostly text based because it took forever to load a single still photo, and you could go through and everyone would put up that's where that affiliation, that's where that came from. I know it's the Happy Days thing, but that website was kind of what brought that phrase into the more common lexicon. And being the movie Nut I Am, or TV show Nut I Am, there's some great shows that have done things that I would put into the jumping the shark category, but they've pulled themselves back from it. Like, often the danger point is with shows where there's a will they, won't they kind of couple
This is
situation.
what killed Fringe, right? Like, they got Peter and Liv together, and because people being happy together is boring, they had to do like a flash forward to where they're older and have a child, and there's a post-apocalypse. And it's like, because I think of that as their jump the shark moment. That was their last season, and I don't think it was a coincidence.
Yeah, no, it's certainly The Nanny. The show was not the same after she got together with Mr. Sheffield. And they tried to bring a secondary kind of balance by having Niles and Cece have it off, but it just wasn't, it didn't have that same. I mean, the ultimate is Ross and Rachel, and I do think Friends got a little bit weak when Ross and Rachel were together, but they were smart enough to break them up quickly enough to bring tension, a different level of tension.
We were on a break.
We were on a break!
He absolutely cheated. I will never, that is a hill I will die on.
Ross is such a fucking worm. My God.
Oh. Actually, Friends did it, like, the whole Rachel and Joey storyline was a bit.
Yes.
But we better. Give me a show that, like, I just watched Fleabag again, and it's 2 seasons.
Get in, get out.
All of it is every single one is just the best TV. All of it. It's one of those shows that gives me all the happy brain chemicals. I've started a new list that's just called Happy Brain Chemical Shows.
Nice.
That give you a bit of a buzz.
Rattle off a few of those.
Fleabag, Parks and Rec, King of the Hill, absolutely. Doctor Who is on that list for me, anyway. Weirdly, Mastermind, so yeah, trivia quiz shows but that's very personal to me. There's something about Black Books is one I will absolutely, every single time. It's so punchy. The jokes are phenomenal and consistent and hilarious. The IT Crowd, like that one, we know it has its problematic moments, but that episode you can't find anywhere now. The one where he was...
The one that's like pretty transphobic?
Yes, that one. That one's actually been removed from streamers. You can't find that episode anymore.
Oh, interesting. Well, I mean, it wasn't that funny.
No,
it's not a great loss.
That whole storyline, and there's episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia that they've removed as well.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
The ones involving blackface, more specifically, I believe. I mean, they know what they're doing with it, like in that that is kind of the trope. Because they're making like Lethal Weapon 6 or whatever. And Mac and Dennis, they swap characters midway through. Because Mac, when he's doing it, he's like, no, I need to look like Murtaugh. And so he goes full blackface.
Jesus.
But then they swap characters halfway through the film, and Dennis doesn't do blackface.
Oh boy. Well, those are all some good picks. What would mine? I mean, comedy Star Trek episodes, probably. Lower Decks for sure. Fringe, I could pop a Fringe on anytime. I watched a bit of Delta and the Bannermen last night. The Sylvester McCoy and Mel episodes of Doctor Who, set in 50s Wales.
Oh, they love Wales.
Yeah, big body count in that one. Love a good body count, especially in a comedy. There's just something about just how upsetting that can be. Twin Peaks is a bit like that. They'll go from like a hilarious bit to like, you know, somebody being horribly mangled or murdered.
Yeah. I do need to watch Twin Peaks.
It's real good. But I mean,
you were horrified when neither AJ or myself had seen it.
I mean, I didn't watch it until 2018, something like that, 2019.
Is that the reboot? Later.
Yeah, I watched the reboot and then the return. Oh, and Fire Walk with Me, the movie. I had seen that. Like, I hadn't seen any of the TV show, but a friend who had wanted to see the movie, so I went with him. And it's just a relentless horror show from start to finish.
I don't understand. I'm such a completionist that when you go see I remember being completely horrified. I took my friend Richard, I don't know if you're listening, Richard, but hello, to see Top Gun Maverick, the sequel, and he said nothing. Because we just go to the movies, and we sat down, and as the credits start, or just as it's about to start, he turns to me and goes, "So was the first Top Gun any good?" But actually it worked really well, because when we got home from watching Maverick, I made him watch the original.
Nice.
And so there's so many little nods and tropes in Maverick that it was kind of cool for him to sit there and go, well, that explains that weird scene where they're all playing football on the beach half naked.
Yeah. It's just a throwback
to that iconic volleyball scene. Oh my God. Hashtag Team Iceman. Always have been. Love Val Kilmer.
Oh God, Val Kilmer's great. He is so good in Willow.
Oh, Mad Mardigan. Oh, we need to do Willow. Definitely.
Can we do Willow next week?
Yes, let's do Willow next week. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
I had pulled up the list. I'm like, should we go with sci-fi, because we've done fantasy and horror and weird, all kind of
we've
right
kind
after
of
the other.
All of them. We've bounced from each, because
Willow's one of my favorites. It's one of your favorites. I mean, Val Kilmer, Joanne Whalley was like real big for me in my youth. Very attractive as Saoirse.
Yeah,
Saoirse.
Yeah. I remember being terrified by it when I was a little kid. I remember like the opening sequence, and I never watched the rest of it because the opening sequence scared me so much I turned it off as a little kid. And then it wasn't until I was in grade 8 when we needed to do a literary, like a film study in English as a class, and it was right when Titanic had just come out, and the teachers were like, oh, everyone's seen Titanic, right? But people hadn't. So instead he made us all watch Willow, and everybody loved it. It was iconic. Thanks, Mr. Smiley. I think that was his name.
That's awesome.
And I've watched it a million times since. Even, like, the reboot was good. It just didn't get enough credit.
Oh, man. That one definitely needed a season 2. I never got a satisfying explanation for why it didn't.
You just never know with these reboots. Like, sometimes people react really badly and, you know, oh, they had some other female characters. But Willow always had strong female characters, like Morta, Sasha.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's the fairy lady name? Oh, what's her name?
Oh, Willow.
Yes.
Sherlindra?
Oh, yes. And Warwick Davis, like, the amount of things he is in, he plays a bunch of different characters in the Chronicles of Narnia, BBC 90s series. No, he plays a few of the Dwarves. Maybe, he plays Rupert Sheep in the movies, I think. He's in both. I mean, the guy's an Ewok, right? Like, he's iconic.
Oh, yeah, he's everywhere. So good. He was in that first TV movie with the little girl, the Ewok adventure.
That's my first Star Wars exposure, was Caravan of Courage.
Mm.
Is
that what they called it over there?
Yes. I don't know if yes. We are talking about an era where different films had different names. Like The Mighty Ducks was not called The Mighty Ducks here. It was called Champions.
Interesting.
And then they confused it by calling the sequel D2 The Mighty Ducks. So when you talk about The Mighty Ducks, like, you got to be really specific. But everyone, certainly when I was a kid, it was known as Champions. Whereas if I go to watch it on a streamer now, go to watch it on Disney, yeah, it's called The Mighty Ducks. That reboot wasn't bad either. They tried to do a bit of a Cobra Kai thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just feel like Emilio Estevez is a good dude.
Yeah.
Yay, I'm so excited to do Willow. Now I get to watch Willow this week. Awesome.
Fucking A. Hell yes. Oh my God. I love Willow so much. Oh shit. It even had a good arcade game.
Did it?
Yeah. But I wish I could. I wonder if you can play it on Steam or something. Surely. It's probably not the same without the big box and the little joystick, but
I don't know. I played a lot of Street Fighter on an arcade machine. I have also enjoyed it on a PlayStation. If you get plug in a controller, you'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was mostly about the level where you're on a cart. Do you remember when Mad Mardigan, they're on a cart and people are shooting at them and stuff? That was the level I got to before I ran out of quarters or whatever.
Oh, it's a good yeah, I didn't know there was a game. Didn't make it to any of the I never had an actual arcade. You just kind of had a couple of machines in the pub. So whatever there was in the pub, that's what you had access to play out of the two of them. So we had Revenge of Shinobi and that Ninja Turtles one where you could have all four and
that was the worst quarter suck around. That and The Simpsons were just and they constantly made noise too. So if you had to play a game anywhere near them, it was as Maggie wailed. Terrible. All those
that's how when I first played Wonder Boy, that was on an arcade machine.
Nice. I sent you the image of that Willow game.
I wonder if it rings any bells. It's just... No, absolutely not. I have not played that. That is amazing.
Yeah, Willow's driving the cart while Mad Mardigan's like knocking guys out and collecting coins. There was a lot of coin collecting, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's got a bit of Golden Axe vibe, I guess, too.
Oh, Golden Axe. Yeah, definitely the art style for sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Val Kilmer. Like Mad Mardigan, but my other favorite role from him is Doc Holliday in Tombstone.
Very good. I think I like whoever he played in Top Secret.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that.
I'm Googling it. Oh my God, it's hilarious. It's like Airplane, but with 40s spies. World War II. Cool. An American rock and roll singer is invited to a cultural festival in East Germany in order to distract from a plot to destroy NATO submarines, but he accidentally becomes involved in a resistance plot to rescue an imprisoned scientist. It's a Zucker Brothers thing. It's fucking just so ridiculous.
I love it. Oh, come on, what an icon. Rest in peace. Oh, The Doors. You can't mention him without mentioning The Doors.
Oh, my goodness. I might watch that this week, too.
Yeah, that's worthy of a rewatch.
I know that Ray Manzarek, the keyboardist, didn't like it. He thought it was too coke heavy, that it was more about Oliver Stone than the Doors themselves. But it's so good, you know.
I mean, The Doors were like one of my dad's favorite bands. Like, I'd listen to them constantly in childhood. When I was in Paris, I made sure to take the time to go visit Jim's grave. Quite a few famous people buried in that cemetery.
Yeah.
Oscar Wilde, Edith Piaf.
What's that cemetery called?
I always get it confused with the one in Interview with the Vampire.
Cimetière du Père Lachaise.
Yes. If you're gonna go there though, if you're unco like me, be warned, those cobblestones are dangerous. I absolutely sprained my ankle on the cobblestones
Oh no. So don't get too stoned if you go over there, folks. You might fall down.
Be very, very careful.
Wow, Proust is there, Oscar Wilde. Huh.
They actually had to put a glass case around Oscar Wilde's grave from people like kissing it and stuff.
Wow.
Because it was wearing it away, so now it's in this like perspex cabinet thing. It is also still covered in lipstick kisses, and this is all pre-COVID. Like I think about when I kissed the Blarney Stone in Ireland, which you're supposed to, that's part of the tradition. You got to hang down backwards off the top of this castle to do it, and it's like there is nothing COVID safe about this.
Interesting. There's also a dictator buried there, Rafael Trujillo. That's weird. I feel like dictators shouldn't be allowed to have nice cemetery, nice graves.
Well, you go to where Hitler's bunker was, and it's a car park.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Yeah, you random little car park in Berlin, and you're like, oh, this is where it was. Okay, there's a playground right there.
Yeah, stick Franco under a bathroom,
Yeah, Chopin's there. Yeah, just definitely stick them all, kind of.
Oh, George Enescu, he wrote, he was a pianist.
Yeah.
Violinist. Moliere, wow.
Yeah, there's some pretty big names, and it's if you ever go to Paris, it's worth a visit. I I think. I just went for Jim and everything else was a bonus.
Folks, you just got so much extra on top of your plate, from the Doors to the Père Lachaise Cemetery. It's all here for you with Jessie and Jeff.
This is what happens when we only watch a 23-minute episode.
That's right. We're going to spend an hour and 20 talking about other stuff.
Yep.
Oh, shit. Well, thank you for listening. Recommendations? Got anything on your brain?
I don't know if I recommended it before. Mickey 17, great film.
What's going on with that one?
Oh, it's A24, and they always do Weird and Wonderful, and it's Robert Pattinson as a kind of clone. Like, in this future on a colony, they have this technology to basically reprint a human if they die. Kind of like the Flesh in Rebel Flesh episodes. So it's a bit like that, and it's about Mickey number 17 because he's signed up to be what they call a dispensable, I think it is. So it's very got all the wonderful weirdness you expect from A24 and the kind of roles that Robert Pattinson takes these days. There's also some, colonialism messaging, some environmentalism messaging, some ethics of cloning.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I watched it at random on recommendation, and it was a good time. You really one of those ones where you sit there and go, oh, Robert Pattinson is actually quite good. Quite a good actor, isn't he?
Hell yeah.
And Twilight aside. They've all got to do the one where they make the money, though. It's like, another one, if you're going to go while we're on Win, wonderful with performances by iconic people who have played iconic roles, Swiss Army Man. Daniel Radcliffe and Paul Dano. It's done by the Daniels, who did Everything Everywhere All at Once, written and directed by them. And how they sold the script is the best way I can sell the movie. The first fart will make you laugh. The last fart will make you cry. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Oh my gosh, that's the one. It was actually one of my old favorite podcasts, The Ladies Guide to Jude Cinema. They watched it and they were so blown away with it that it's the only time I've ever paid to hire a movie on Amazon. Normally, I'm either go to the cinema or I'll wait till it's free on the streaming or included on the streaming. They're not free. Mm-hmm. That one, I hired it for 48 hours and I watched it twice.
Wow, that is
in a 48-hour period. It is weird. This guy just opens with a guy stuck on a desert island, a body washes up on the beach. And it goes from there. Daniel Radcliffe is a farting zombie.
That's amazing. I finished A Stitch in Time, a Deep Space Nine novel by Andrew J. Robinson. I didn't listen to the audiobook. I read it on ebook, but I hear the audiobook is excellent. It's a fun story. He tells it's almost like vignettes from various adventures we never got to see on the show. And then I just finished Paul Mars' Doctor Who in Wonderland. And I think this is a book that a non-Who reader could get into. It uses so much stuff from Alice in Wonderland, but puts the Doctor and Tegan and Turlo and Nyssa into it. And there's no sonic screwdriver, so, you don't have to know anything about that. And the TARDIS is sidelined somewhere, so don't have to know much about that.
Oh, so the Doctor has to do stuff.
Yeah, Paul Mars' prose is gorgeous. It's good for kids and for adults. I couldn't recommend it more highly.
Okay.
And Paul Mars spells his last name Magrs. Read everything he does because he is truly brilliant. That'll do it. I have to pee, so I'll shut it down quickly. Jessie, how do people find you on the internet?
You can find me at Cosmic Cowgirl, KOSMICCOWGIRL. Cosmic Cowgirl.
Hell yeah. You can find me all over the internet at El Jefe Tacoma. Send us an email, shatteredworldspod@gmail.com, and watch me on Omniversal Escapades on Twitch and YouTube, and listen to Shattered Worlds RPG. We've got comedy, sports, not sports, zombies, space. That's what I meant. Space, wizards, all that stuff. And I was just recently on the Duras Sisters podcast to talk about caves in lower decks. It was super fun. I had a wonderful time. This shirt is designed by one of the hosts of that show.
I've been admiring your shirt. It's an excellent
Jadzia
shirt.
Dax t-shirt. Yeah. So that show hosted by Ashlyn and Rihanna. They're sisters, and they're smart and funny, and they know lower decks and most of Star Trek backwards and forwards, up and down. So it's a really great show. So yeah, I guess that's my last recommendation. Go check out the Duras Sisters.
I will. I need a new pod.
Hell yeah. Okay, folks, that'll do it. Until next time.
That's right. Scare him with your circle.
Give him hell, Laszlo.
A huge thanks to James Lark of jameslark.co.uk for providing our wonderful theme song. Thank you, James.
I'll have one human alcohol martini. This is just the way we talk in Tucson, Arizona.
Jackie Daytona, regular human bartender.
Yes. I didn't scrape and murder my way to Pennsylvania to watch those talented athletes jerked off.
There's so many good quotes.
That's right. Scare them with your circles. Self-funded billionaire candidate.
Oh, we have one of those. It's awful. I mean, ours didn't get elected, so.
That's good.
No, he's called Clive Palmer. He's a mining magnate who tried to build Titanic 2, wanted to build Jurassic Park. Again, these are real things that he has said earnestly in the media.
So a real nut.
Oh, totally, like that shit crazy. I say you the Bobcatter compilation, but Clive Palmer's and he's reformed. His party has failed every single election, so he just reforms it under a different name, and then spends millions on advertising and has zero success. This year, you'll love this. His party name was Trumpet of Patriots.
Trumpet of Patriots.
Trumpet of Patriots was the name of the party.
Why don't you just call it Trump 2 and be done with it?
Well, as I've told you, we did have the leader of the opposition be called Timu Trump.
God damn.
In Parliament by a Greens member. Oh, I don't know what's more embarrassing, that you guys are like living through it, but then we're like typical Australia, like, oh, we're just going to do our own little copy version over here.
Yeah, I think there's embarrassing, and then there's like shocking. Like it's daily befuddling.
Every single day I'm waking up to new news coming from your side of the world, and it's all terrifying.
Yeah.
Makes you want to run away and run a bar in a small country town.
Yeah.
Get behind a women's volleyball team.
Yeah. I can't decide where I'd go. Maybe New Mexico. I don't know what my cover job would be. Maybe I shouldn't say on air in case I have to have one.
Yeah, well, when RFK gets the autism list up and going, you might need it. Oh, God. Just move to Australia.
Bankruptcy! You remember my crew? Big Vlad, Vlad Glad the Exsanguinator,
Not these pricks.
Gunfrapple, Wesley Sykes, the Freak Sisters, Mr. 50s, Evil Steve, the wickedly talented Adele Dazeem.
Oh.
Hello there. Freakfest Tony.
Hi, Tony. Nice to see you again.
The Silent One.
Hey, guys, how's it going?
Just gonna keep it silent for now, thank you. He who shall not be named. But it's Greg. His name is Greg. Desdemona the Shrieker. That guy I still don't know. And, of course, the king himself, Elvis.
Oh. Yeah, he was always pretty good with a hammer. Not very good with friendship.
Traitor!
Ronaldo the Elder. There he is. And who could forget? Ken, the zombie of my former accountant. Yes. He's also the COO of my production company. And, of course, my sound guy, Count Rapula.
Oh, not
this. Hey, yo, I rose from my tomb with 3 labs and a boom. When you think you alone, I'm in your home. Getting room tone.
No.
Scary stories and fables and XLR cables, my label.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Count Rapula. I think we all get it.
Well.
You really are the most devious bastard in New York City.
Marcia, Marcia, Marcia!
I didn't scrape and murder my way to Pennsylvania to watch those talented athletes get fucked off.
You say you're from Tucson, but you talk all fancy and Europe-like.
This is the way we talk in Tucson, Arizona.
I said welcome back, didn't I? Fucking guy.
Who cares?